So what is going on, guys? I am Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be taking a look at the storyline of NUKETOWN 84 Zombies. We find out through the documents and pieces of intel we can find in the onslaught mode what truly went on here that caused the zombie outbreak in NUKETOWN 84. Of course, we also had the original zombie outbreak in NUKETOWN Zombies, but this takes place after that, and through the intel we can find out about the story. So as always, if you're going to enjoy today's video, don't forget to drop a like rating if you want to. If not, it's totally fine. Thank you guys for watching anyway. Make sure you are subscribed, but let's get into it. Here we go and enjoy. So there are 3 pieces of intel you can find as a part of the onslaught mode for NUKETOWN, where they tell us how the zombie outbreak started and what happened to the people that were staying here. So the first document is called To Whom It May Concern, and if this doesn't make you concerned, something's seriously wrong with you. My name is Gina Daystar, nee Castillo, and I founded the NUKETOWN Collective 3 years ago. I was the first so-called squatter, got the plumbing working, painted the first mural, and I personally petitioned the Department of Defence and the Governor to legally recognise that despite this being an old nuclear testing site, we are not, in fact, on federal land. I mention this because when your neighbour is Area 51, good fences make good neighbours takes on a unique significance. I've seen black helicopters and lights in the sky, I've heard an eerie, almost subsonic late night hum and felt it rattle my bones. I can only guess what terrible experiments are carried out in secret there. That's why I made NUKETOWN rule number 1. No trespassing on or contact with Area 51. Ever. As I write this, my community is shattered. My brothers and sisters are literally tearing each other apart. It started an hour ago with a sound like a human shriek that came from all sides, and something that looked like a mini Aurora Borealis appearing beside the house across the street. They were having a cookout, and everything close to that Aurora thing immediately started wailing and moaning as their skin dried up like rotten leather. I watched through the window as they attacked the others, like coyotes on a jackrabbit. I'm not even going to try to process my emotions yet. Survival comes first, and I don't know if it was radiation, germ warfare, or some sort of chemical weapon, but I have no doubt of the source. We kept our distance, but Area 51's bad science came to us. We have no phone lines here, so I called for help on my ham radio. I have a friend in Indiana Springs who I chat with sometimes. She responded, but a wave of static drowned her out. A very stern, military-sounding voice cut in. Stay put. We are aware of the situation, help is on the way. That was it. No answer to my questions, just stay put, we are on the way. I never thought an offer for help could sound less reassuring. I locked the doors and windows. I may be paranoid, but I'm considering making a run for it before help arrives. Daystar. The second document is called Punks Ain't Pacifists, and it says, only reason I am here is cause my bandmates dumped me in the desert when I puked in the van. Fuckers can't take a joke. Anyhow, these hippies at this NUKETOWN Collective saved me from dying of thirst and gave me a place to crash. So, I guess I owe them something. For sure, they didn't deserve to go out like they did. They threw a barbecue today, which is funny cause they are vegetarians. I was playing my guitar on the other side of the house when it happened. I don't know what it was, looked like the air ripping open. Anyone close went glassy-eyed and just attacked. Like, actual murder. Here's the thing, these commune losers are pacifists. Like, yeah, fuck the government and fuck the war merchants and all, but if you go for my throat, I'm not answering with a hug. So I was the only one fighting back. All I had was my guitar, but if you ever saw one reckon amplifier, you know why they call it an axe. So I caved in some skulls, which is not as fun as it sounds. Long story short, whatever they caught is contagious. Too many fucked up murder hippies to deal with, so I ran back to my room. I hear them outside, but they don't know where I hid. Only other person that didn't catch it is Gina, not using her dumbass hippie name. I see Gina's window from mine, she saw me, and taped up a note. Keith, soldiers come in, run away. I'm staying put and letting the experts handle this. Might write a song while I wait, if I can get my poor guitar back in tune. And the third and final document is called Cellar Dwellers, and it says, people will judge what I did here, whether I'm still around or not, so I'm saying my piece on paper while I still have the chance. I was here from the start, with Sunny and Daystar. I know everyone here intimately, even that newcomer kid. You have to understand, this is my family. Even now I can't give up on them. If your brother or daughter caught rabies or smallpox, would you turn your back on them? I never liked having an Air Force base for a neighbour, but most days I forgot they were even there. Now, helicopters have landed and troops are going door to door. I only dodged them because I saw Daystar's note in the window, the one meant for Keith. I knew the military-industrial complex was coming to rescue us, so I checked Keith's room. I found Astrid, Riverstone and Mariposa feasting on him like loneliness. I got them to chase me into my basement, ran out and locked them in. The walls are thick, and I don't think the soldiers can hear them. They were burning the bodies out there. Once they leave, I'll drive into town and let the world know, and then the Pentagon will have to give us the cure. Either that or some idiot soldier will open my cellar and people will say I set up an ambush. Look, I didn't start this. I just can't let what's left of my family end up in a bonfire of corpses. Harmony. So those are all 3 documents you can find in Onslaught for NUKETOWN 84. They tell us exactly how the zombie outbreak happened here, why there is graffiti all over the map because there were settlers or people staying here. We learn of people's names, their stories, what happened to them, and then about how soldiers came in, a cleanup crew, and burned all of the corpses on site. The first document tells us how the NUKETOWN Collective began. Gina Daystar was the person who started it all. She was the first so-called squatter. She got the plumbing working done, painted the first mural, and personally petitioned to stay here since it wasn't federal land. And then, over time, more people came in. They painted their own artwork and graffiti around the place. That was until one day a rip appeared in the sky, which we know is a gateway to the dark ether. They described it as a mini Aurora Borealis, thinking it was caused by Area 51, their neighbours, when we know it wasn't. But anyone close to this tear became infected, which was pretty much everyone staying here, besides from a couple of people, and then the ones that turned into zombies began to attack the survivors. Gina then tried calling for help from one of her friends in Indiana Springs, but instead, she heard a voice back from a military person telling them to stay put, they are aware of the situation, and that they were on their way to help. In the meantime, the zombies continued attacking everyone, and when the soldiers did eventually arrive, they went door to door and began burning all of the corpses, almost trying to hide what had happened here. If you take a look around the map, there are a few interesting Easter eggs. Firstly, the mailboxes, which we know originally said Woods and Mason on them. In this version of NUKETOWN, there is a green one that says Perseus, and the red one says Red Door. Obviously, this is just a reference to the campaign. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean Perseus stayed here. Also, if you take a look at the NUKETOWN sign, and I do apologise for this being the Christmas one, I'm recording this when the normal one isn't available, but you will notice on the NUKETOWN sign, it says Site B. Now, you may or may not know that this NUKETOWN isn't in the same location as the original one. This one happens years later, and if you zoom all the way out of the map, you can see the crater of where the original NUKETOWN was. It's not too far away, but the original NUKETOWN was destroyed. It was nuked. And then they built a second site, Site B, which is this one, right next to it. And you can see if you go inside of the garage, there is a map which says A and B. I'm assuming this is talking about Site A, the original NUKETOWN, and Site B, which is right next to it. That's NUKETOWN 84. There are also pictures of the original NUKETOWN and a few notes that are pretty difficult to read, but from what I can tell it says, "Dear Dave, we miss you so much, your friends." And there is a second note that says, "We're coming here to remember our best friend, Dave." I'm not sure who that is. Was it a squatter? Is it something to do with an employee at Treyarch? They aren't mentioned in the intel documents, so I'm not too sure on that one. But yeah, if you just take a look around the map in general, there is graffiti everywhere from the squatters and settlers that were staying here. Most of the artwork is very random. It doesn't really seem to relate to anything of importance. But there we go. That is the story of NUKETOWN 84 Zombies. As always, if you've enjoyed today's video, if you found out something new, a like rating is always appreciated. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye.